Okie dokie, here we are. So in the last little video about the nephron, I went through the hormones and the DCT and I said you should know these by now, but you didn't, did you? No. Let's do it together one more time. So here in the DCT and the distal convoluted tubule of the nephron, right, we've got the filtrate. This is the stuff that's going to become urine. We don't call it urine yet because it's still filtrate. It's the fluid in the tubules. It's a tubular fluid. It's where we've got stuff, but we're still moving stuff back and forth. Eventually, when it gets to the collecting duct, we can start calling it urine. And here's the blood, all right? So we've got a peritubular capillary here, all right? We're trying to control the movement of things between filtrate and the peritubular capillary, all right? Let's start with our old buddy aldosterone, Benny's brother. So remember, aldosterone is save. Sodium save means into the blood. So what is aldosterone doing? It's taking from the blood, it's putting sodium, taking from the filtrate, putting sodium into the blood. All right? See? Nice work, aldosterone. Good job, buddy. Now remember, though, that water follows solutes. All right? So water follows solutes. Therefore, water is going to go along with the sodium, and we will therefore save water. Okay, so aldosterone causes us to save both. Now, in point of fact, aldosterone moves sodium this way, but remember, how does it do that? It increased the number of sodium-potassium pumps. So in fact, when we go this direction, aldosterone is actually sending potassium into the filtrate. Okay, so aldosterone, look, three things getting moved around by aldosterone, all right? Pulling sodium and water into the blood, sending potassium out to the filtrate. Now let's look at our old buddy, ADH, Anti-Diuretic Hormone. So it is, remember, is going to pull water, anti-diuretic. You're not going to pee. So you're pulling water out of the filtrate and putting it into the blood. Notice I made this dotted line because aldosterone is not moving water directly. It's moving sodium and water follows. Here, ADH is moving water directly. Remember, how does it do that? You know the answer to that. It put aquaporin channels into the tubule and they're pumping water this way, okay? So, ANP, our old buddy ANP, always need to pee, atrial natriuretic peptide. So what is it doing? It's natriuretics, putting natrium into the urine. Natriuretic, it puts natrium into the urine. So it moves sodium from the blood into the urine, all right? Now what happens when we move solutes? Water follows, so therefore ANP is also moving water along with the sodium, and now water is going into the filtrate. So always need to pee. You're putting lots of water into your filtrate, so of course you always need to pee. It's like, on Friday night you're drinking something like Bud Light, which is basically nothing but water, and your kidney's going, why do you keep hydrating with this crap? So ANP, notice then what's going to happen with blood pressure. When aldosterone causes you to put more water into the blood, total blood volume goes up, stroke volume goes up, and what happens to your blood pressure in that case? Your blood pressure goes up. So aldosterone, remember, raises blood pressure. What about ADH? Yes, ADH pulls water into the blood. ADH also raises your blood pressure. But what does ANP do? Puts water out, stroke volume goes down, ANP lowers your blood pressure. Okay? Then let's take a look at PTH, so parathyroid hormone. Parathyroid hormone, remember, all the way back in Bio 201, it's going to raise blood calcium. So it's raising blood calcium, so parathyroid hormone must be putting calcium into the blood. But remember, parathyroid hormone was one of those ones where it moves something else in the opposite direction. And what did it move in the opposite direction? It moved the phosphate. So the HPO4 2- is getting sent this direction, all right? So PTH, saving calcium, excreting phosphate, all right? Calcitriol, all right, vitamin D, it's raising calcium in the blood. So by golly, once again, what's going to happen here? We are going to move calcium into the blood. Going to raise that blood calcium. And notice how we had, A and P doing the opposite of ADH and aldosterone. Well, guess who does the opposite essentially of calcitriol and PTH? Yes, indeed, it's calcitonin. So what is calcitonin doing? Calcitonin is kind of a weird one in a way. What it does, remember I told you normally phosphate and calcium will go in opposite directions. This is a case where they don't. So what's going to happen here is calcitonin is mostly concerned with calcium. It's not really so much, it's not excreting calcium, it's preventing the reabsorption. So it's kind of, in a way, sort of an indirect effect. But calcitonin actually then moves both calcium and the phosphate into the urine, okay? So notice calcitonin doing essentially the opposite of what PTH and calcitriol did. And then who is this guy down here? Look, it's a little pump that's pumping something into the filtrate and sending something else back into the blood. So what are we doing here? We are actually moving hydrogen into the urine. Remember, this is how your kidneys control your acid base, by dumping hydrogen in. And who is this? This is a hydrogen potassium antiporter. So it actually moves potassium back in the opposite direction. I don't care so much about that. The big thing I do care about is that hydrogen is being pumped into the urine by this pump, and that's how the kidneys can control your acid-base balance. So there you go. That's the DCT. That's what those hormones are doing out there. Make sure you know what your hormones do. This is a preview of the endocrine system, where we'll have these hormones plus a whole lot more. So if you don't learn these now, it just adds to the massive amount you have to learn later. So get these under control now, and then we're going to be adding a lot more hormones to our list. So you can look forward to something more hormones. Think about it. Interpret that any way you want. I don't care. It doesn't matter.